I had promised a Sam Harris quote in our last debate coverage, so why not give it to you today?
Oh, come
okay.
on.
Okay. No, it's fun for everybody. So today, Ben Carson has endorsed Donald Trump. Okay, and so he dropped out a little while ago, and I thought that was a good time to remind you guys what someone said about him. Okay, now this is Sam Harris. Oh no, everybody flip out. Okay, he said, given a choice between Noam Chomsky and Ben Carson, in terms of the totality of their understanding of what's happening in the world, I'd vote for Ben Carson every time.
Oh.
Every time.
Wait, are you sure you're not misquoting him?
No, well, by definition I am, because I have not quoted every single book that he's ever written or that entire podcast, hence that is quote mining. Hold on, I have more on that though. Let's give as much context as we can. He does say, as always, out of both sides of his mouth, Ben Carson is a dangerously deluded religious imbecile. The fact that he's a candidate for president is a scandal. But at the very least, he can be counted on to sort of get this one right. He understands that jihadists are the enemy. Okay, deluded religious clown, but understands foreign policy better than Noam Chomsky because he understands that jihadists are the enemy. Wow, that is sophisticated thinking.
It's super sophisticated. You know, most people don't know that jihadists are the enemy.
No,
We had no idea.
Oh, yeah,
we actually thought jihadists were lovely people.
oh,
We're gonna
they're
invite them
the
over
enemy?
for dinner.
Oh my God, why didn't we just say it earlier?
Yeah.
If we had said it, they probably would have been solved by now.
Is jihadist the new word for Muslim for Sam Harris? Is it a catch-all?
For a lot of
Are they
people,
all
I
jihadists?
For a lot of people. I don't know about specifically for him, but yeah, for a lot of people.
So, look, of course, they say, no, we didn't say all Muslims, right? And if, in fact, they were consistent and just said jihadis, then there'd be no debate at all, because we'd agree, everybody would agree.
Yeah.
Of course the jihadis are bad. Everyone can be counted on to figure that out. Okay, you don't need Ben Carson to tell you that. That's not the issue. The issue is how broad are you going to make that category and have it slip over from jihadis to some Muslims, to a majority of Muslims, to most Muslims. So I kind of meant all Muslims, right?
Well, because in Sam Harris's mind, probably he thinks any Muslim has the potential to become a jihadi eventually.
Well, he does say that.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I don't want to quote mine him. Go read every single word he's ever written, okay? So he says they have the potential. That's why we have to, do things like profiling. Earlier in the campaign, he also praised Ted Cruz when Cruz was talking about keeping Muslims out of the country, and that's because now look, it's not an interesting conversation on whether we should profile jihadis. We shouldn't just profile them; we should arrest them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not the conversation we're having. So don't pretend it is. Right. We're talking about profiling all Muslims, and you can't say most Muslims because then how do you know which ones we're supposed to profile? Well, right. That's not the conversation. The conversation is that Ted Cruz is having, and Sam Harris has said kind words about Cruz and Carson, while of course at the same time saying unacceptable. But I'm just saying I kind of love what they say about Muslims. Right? So it's profiling Muslims. Of course it is. That's what it is.
And we know what we get when you take seriously regular people, not, distinguished thinkers. And I'm like joking, I'm being sarcastic, even though I have read almost every word he's ever written. You get people like the guy at the Trump rally who's like, you know what? There's a chance that guy might be ISIS. I'm going to punch him in the face. That's why you can't have all of these people making these independent decisions about, well, God, he's dark-skinned. He could be Muslim.
That's literally what that guy who assaulted the black protester in North Carolina at a Trump rally said. He said, well, I don't know, he could have been ISIS, right? Now, all of a sudden, we're even broader than Muslims. Now, everybody who's got some sort of brown skin, right? So anyway, I don't want to get back into that rabbit hole. And so enjoy your rage that are his supporters and explode in every direction in terms of your anger about the beloved prophet's misrepresentation and what a sophisticated thinker he is. But your sophisticated thinker thinks that Ben Carson is a sophisticated thinker.
Ben fucking Carson. Like when you think of Ben Carson, you think his head, okay, is like it's like a cabinet. Okay, everyone's head has a certain amount of information, but his cabinet was found in an attic. Somebody left it to him. He doesn't know who. We don't really know what's in there, and it's not in order. Whereas if you open Ted Cruz's cabinet, it's like all white chalk, and it's all lined up perfectly.
Yeah, and
Ted Cruz's cabinet scares me a little more, actually.
No, Ted Cruz's cabinet is creepier, but you're gonna find, like, you may find a stuffed animal in Ben Carson's. You won't find it in Ted Cruz's.
Stuffed animal. Okay, so
That guy understands the world better than Noam Chomsky.